family. It's Rosanna Ison, and this is Love, Lies, and Life. And I started podcasting because I do a lot of thinking and soul searching. I got a lot of time on my hands now that I'm not teaching. And this is a question that I think about all the time. How would it have been if I had a father in my life? I know my dad. My dad knows me, but not growing up with the hugging. And this is not a shot against my father. This is my reality. So I'm not looking for hate letters. I'm not looking for, I don't really have any fans. I don't know where this is going to go, but maybe my kids can hear this many, many years down the road and understand me as a parent. Shucks. I mean, there's a backstory to everything. I could just talk about relationships with my mother and my father, but I saw something earlier today that just struck me because I'm having a hard time relating to he's not a teenager, the young man that I've raised to the best of my ability. And I just didn't know it was going to be like this. Certain things in his life caused this to happen. Now, through my devout Christianity, my deep Christianity back then, when I was raising my kids, I did not want them to feel the emptiness that I felt. I really don't know what it is to have family. Yes, they have titles, but I really do not know what it is. So, to the topic. Should you or should you not reach out? And this is for my son. I'm speaking on behalf of fatherless children. This is the second time that I've touched this subject, fatherless children. Parentless, fatherless, motherless. So I was watching a little something today online. It was just a snippet. And it was a son who wanted to reach out to his dad that he had not heard from or seen in 18 years. This man walks out of his life. But this now is a 30-something-year-old man that feels empty behind the fact that he does not know his father. And I get it. I understand. But there's two sides to each story. The man was saying, I want to reach out, and people was telling him, yes, reach out. But here's the downfall to that. You very well may be rejected by the man that created you. You very well may be. I think that that's the biggest problem that my son and I have, is the fact that his dad is not in his life. Now, I could be wrong, but this is one of the reasons that I think our relationship is so bad. They tend to say that you lash out to the closest person that's to you. So that would be me. I'm sharing these intimate details about our relationship just because, back to the point, should you or should you not reach out to a parent that has not been there? I mentioned to you my devout Christian. I'm no longer there. Some of the stuff that I've done, I look at now as ridiculous, but I was in so much pain and I wanted to raise my kids and I wanted to love my kids. But we're talking about this situation with young men wanting to be loved by their fathers. So let me just dive right on into it. I thought it would have been a good situation. We would pray to God at night early on that the man that created him would come into his life and help me with the burden of raising an African, a brown son. Okay? A brown son. we go through so many difficulties because I never had that close knit relationship with my father, and he didn't get to have a relationship with his father at all. The little bit of time that he did meet his father was damaging. So not all the time that it's good for the father to be in their life. What I do realize is that was one of the most damaging periods in my son's life, when he got the opportunity to meet the man that's when all hell broke loose, to be truthfully honest. The stuff that this guy did to us, the abuse, the neglect, the stealing of funds. I don't want to get too deep into it. All I'm saying is not everybody should meet up with the man that gave them life, or the boy that gave them life. Something that someone said, that they were only 25. He was 25 at the time that my son was conceived. I was 29, 28, 29. If I could have gone back and done it all over again, I would simply say no, that they should not have met. And some people should. It's just the risk that you have to take. Do I believe that he's going to be okay and he's going to be great? Most definitely from the womb. But our road to success for the both of us has been nothing more than traumatic. Thank God I know how to laugh in the midst of my storms. I don't know how my son deals with it. I have 2 kids. My daughter seems to be just fine. Well, we know that there's some sort of, I don't know, I can't speak on that because she's only 16, but most definitely for my 20-year-old, it has been nothing but pain to me that I see in backlash, and just we just can't communicate. We can't communicate. I've definitely done the best that I can. So should you, my question, way deep down in this podcast, Love, Lies, and Life, you have to do some soul searching to see if you really, as an adult, want to reach out to the person that could just not care if you have food, water, clothes, education. He's a man now. My son is considered to be a man now, but it still hurts that the child in the inside of him and the child in the inside of me, longing for that relationship, is still there, and it affects me as a woman in terms of what I'm supposed to have. So I'll quote 2 friends of mine throughout my life who had stepfathers. My situation just wasn't so good. But friend number 1, this is a college friend. I remember her saying, in terms of not having a dad, why would a man want me when my own father didn't want me? That statement has stuck with me for forever, honey. I am 49 years young, and this is something that she said to me years ago. But there was a man in your house that loved you, that loved your mom, that showed you love. She's happily married now, 4 or 5 kids later, maybe even 6. You know, and it worked out for her. And I'm glad that it did. So I know we're talking about boys, and do boys need to reconnect with their fathers after their fathers have walked out on them? But I tell you what, I'm receiving the backlash from the pain, from the neglect I did all that I could. I really didn't know how to love because I never really felt it myself, but I knew that I wanted to give what I had never received and do things that were not done for me. Anybody know me, I will cut off both of my hands if I had to save my children, to give them anything. I would go to jail for my kids. I would give my life. I would lay down my life for my children. Not for nothing, silly or stupid or anything like that. But if they're in danger, anybody knows that I'm coming to bat for my kids. You already know you're going to have a war on your hands because those are my kids. Now, I'm backing off a little bit more because they're getting older. But I have to keep reiterating this. All right, so second example, I have a friend girl from high school. I said from college. Both of these girls have been in my life for quite some dang on time. For quite some time. And I know intimate details about their relationships with their father. Now, example number 2. This young lady father was abusive to her mother. Right? Did some things to her mother, and her mother had to be hospitalized. And she went to live with her grandmother. And we had a long conversation, like a 2-3 day conversation, pouring out about fatherhood. And she got me to the realization that not all relationships need to be mended. She did go back and tell her father that I forgive you for what you did to my mother so I can be free. Hey, like I said, deep Christianity had me there. But basically all of that, I took that in to say, she was like, not all relationships need to be mended. I don't need to be his friend. I just need to let him know that, what you did to my mother, I don't like it. I didn't like it. And I forgive you. But she was able to tell me that not all relationships are good relationships. And she don't know how her life would have turned out had she been around him, or if he would have had the opportunity to raise her. Now, fast forward to the situation with her marriage, beautiful marriage. And she said that God gave her the husband that she has today and has been having this husband because of the relationship that didn't happen with her father. God gave her a loving husband and a loving family, and I just love it. So I often say I don't understand what's going on with my son, and I wish he had a dad. Well, I wish everybody had a dad, and it doesn't have to be your birth father, just someone that could come along and just be fatherly to you. Now that I'm almost 50, wow, I don't know if I would get that. I don't know if I would get that experience. Do I need it? Probably even at my age, I need it. And like I said, it doesn't have to come from a birth father. Now, in terms of relationships, it's screwed up. I can tell you what I don't want. And because I had to be so self-sufficient, or here's the term that I hate so dearly, a strong black woman. I despise that word, strong black woman. It simply notates that I've been wronged. I've been left to do some things that I should not have had to do. But that's on top of being black in America and a woman. That's on top of that. So please don't label me as a strong black woman. I just want to be a woman. I just want to be a woman. So yeah, this conversation has taken a turn. Something sparked in the inside of me, the fact that these men were reaching out to these other men that left them alone for a substantial amount of years. In the conversation, they said to ask if in the conversation, they were saying ask both sides of the story. Who cares? I mean, seriously. What's your story gonna be? You 25. 25 is old enough. You don't think 25 is old enough when you had kids? people always like to use the excuse of youth. Well, I was young and I had to take care of the kids on my own. I don't know if that should be an excuse. I'm not pointing fingers, but I'm damn sure saying this: man up. And the person who was saying they were young and they were stupid and they didn't have the capability of making the decision at the age of 25 had a daddy in his life. So everybody's story is going to be different. There is no cookie cutter answer to, should I reach back out to my dad? Well, he ain't your daddy. The man that created you. In some cases, we already know that it's the woman. But in a lot of cases, it's people saying they were too young. But you've created another life. It is time for you, people who've parented, who made kids, to be parents. You have a responsibility not to walk away from. And then there are people who can't even have kids. Like, it is, I'm almost 50. I'll say it again. I don't look like it. I don't sound like it. I don't feel like it. But I am. I don't know if that I can mend what has happened, right? And so because of divorce and because of neglect, I'm an individual. I ain't totally messed up, but there are issues. Definitely issues that I have with relating to the opposite sex. Period. And I know that my son will probably have the same issues relating to women, because maybe he thinks that I should have done something differently. I play cards, honey, with the hand that I was dealt, and I tell him as much as I possibly can. I'm proud of you. I don't like everything that you do, but I love you unconditionally. Right? And some people don't have relationships with their mother or their father. So, what say you, listener? Should someone rekindle a relationship or try to create a relationship with the person who has walked away and has walked out of your life for whatever reason? Should you rekindle the relationship? Can you handle the outcome? It could be devastating, or it could be the most wonderful thing that has ever happened to you in your life. The choice is yours. I don't know what to tell you to do. Like I said, I can't speak on it. I can't give advice for that because I don't know. In my situation, I think it was the wrong thing to do. Trying to force someone to have a relationship. And like I said, the only reason he came back in was to rob, steal, and destroy. But I bounced back. And my son is doing well. But, listener, it's up to you. What do you think? What say you? Please share your comments. Thank you. This has been Love, Lies, and Life. And that sums up life for me. Should you rekindle a relationship with a person who did not want you? My last remark to this is a dog should never return to its vomit. And anytime you go backwards, you might crash. Those are words of wisdom from me. Peace, family.